what we are doing onto this E30 is timing chain guides. This M42 engine has about, I don't know, 190 something thousand miles. Let's just say 200,000 miles. And it hasn't given me much of an issue, to be honest. It's been a pretty good little motor. Until recently, I've been hearing it tick a lot, and it doesn't sound normal. So my instinct said it was the timing chain guides. I went ahead and popped off the timing cover, and sure enough, there are bits of plastic that are missing off of the timing chain guides. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that here in a minute. All right, so as promised, I wanted to show you guys these old timing chain guides on the M42 engine. And looking closely here, we can see just how worn these guides were. This feels very rough, and this is just smooth as butter. And here's the long side. You can see it's all cracked up. I wouldn't say it's down to the metal, but it was very rough, and that chain was very noisy as a result. Here's the lower one. You can see just how deep that is already. Like, wow. So this really needed it. And who doesn't love freshly vapor honed parts? This looks amazing, guys. So yeah, we got a bunch of new parts, and I'll show you guys what it looks like once it's all back together. So everything is going very well. I've placed the cam gears exactly where they were when I removed them. Everything looks great. New guides all around. But one thing I couldn't help to notice was the slack in here. When I put tension on it, which it will have when I install the tensioner that goes there, it's not so much of an issue. But I noticed this bolt, if you see that, it looks kind of like a washer at the end of it. You see how it's flat right there? That means the chain has made contact with that. And I think that happens over time due to the chain actually stretching. I know there's some controversy about this. Some people say you never have to replace the chain. Others say to do it. I think I might have just found a little bit of proof here that you should possibly consider replacing the chain, because even that little bit of stretch will cause a little bit of slack over time, and then that can make contact with that bolt. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Okay, so here we are trying to get this timing cover on, but because we're using the M44 guide for this side here, it's a little bit different. So you need a different bolt and then a spacer that goes through this hole that I'm pointing at here. On the original one, the hole is a lot smaller, the diameter, and on this one it's a little bit larger. So you do need that spacer and the bolt. But the problem is that when you try to go and put this all together, the bolt head is making contact with the timing cover. So I went ahead and took some material off, as you can see here. I also shaved the bolt down significantly. So we have that shaved down. We have material taken off of the cover, and it still needs a little bit more to go. So keep that in mind when you are going with the later style guide for the M42. And as far as I know, the original guide for this engine is back ordered, and it's been back ordered for a long time, so you really don't have a choice but to use this one. So yeah, that sucks that there's some modification needed, and it's been holding me up from continuing this job. So I shaved down as much as I possibly can on this bolt. And that's about as low as I'm willing to go. So I kept on trying to take material off the timing cover, right? And guess what? We went straight through it. Yep. Had this part vapor honed and everything, was so excited about it, put the seal in it and everything, and look at that. Damn it. That was stupid of me. Don't do what I did. Again, don't do what I did. Get the later style. I believe it's 96 and up. You gotta double check that though. Lower timing case cover for the M42. It's got that protrusion I was talking about earlier. So that's gonna allow the bolt to have enough space and allow this to seal properly. That's the last piece of the puzzle to using the later style M44 timing chain guide. So without further ado, let's continue this and get it together. Getting this thing to seal, particularly the upper timing cover, is somewhat of a pain in the ass because you will have this area here not level. Due to the new gasket, you technically have to compress this thing down. These bolt holes, when you look at the upper timing case cover, you're gonna see that they're kind of like ovaled because they're meant to move up and down. Well, mostly down because you want to compress that. So what I had to do is put the valve cover on, put the gasket on, tighten everything as much as you can without stripping your threads. And then I put this little spacer in between. Luckily I had these pieces of sheet metal. I put them underneath the gasket and that's about as good as it's going to get. You see that? And I'm pretty happy with that. That's going to be a good seal. So keep that in mind, guys. Okay, so here we are several hours later. Everything's back together now. I'm currently bleeding the cooling system. I've pulled a fuel pump fuse so I can prime up the oil pump, and then I'll install the fuel pump fuse and start the engine for the first time after replacing all the chain guides. So let's see what that sounds like. That sounded pretty bad, but it sounds good now, so let's continue to bleed the cooling system out. I think the idle's kind of low because I do have a gas leak that's coming from the gas tank. I'm aware of that, but so far so good. Here's the gas leak I'm talking about. That's why my idle was a little bit low. Good. All right, to finish this video, I want to show you guys that it's running well. The retrofit of the M44 timing chain guide worked. There are no leaks. It's cooling just fine. and it runs great. So I hope this video was helpful to anyone that's encountered the similar issues. I heard that the M42 timing chain guide rail is now available, but in case it ever becomes unavailable again, this video should be helpful. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.